Hello and welcome back. Today's video is an update for the Pie Project Pan or Pan in Everything Project Pan. This is a collab with a lot of wonderful panners. I will link them all in the description box. This was started by Jessica, and basically we are rotating through items just trying to hit pan and roll something in. The main purpose of this project is to get to a point where we have pan in everything in our collection, which for me I think is a little bit unrealistic, but I think as much pan as I could have, I would really like to do that because I want to get usage on my products. I have a whole project pan playlist. I will link that in the description box. And also if you're interested in this makeup look, I did film this tutorial. It was part of my ranking my ColourPop palettes. So I'll put that video in the description box if you want to see this makeup look. And yeah, let's get into this update. I have 4 items at a time going in this project. So when I hit pan on something, I will roll something else in. And I have 1 new pan, therefore 1 new item will be brought into this project, which is very exciting. I'll start with the ones I haven't hit pan on yet. The first one is this Urban Decay highlighter in Sin. I've used it a decent amount, not a ton. I haven't been using this every day because I am still working on another highlighter that I would actually like to finish. But there is a bit of a dip going in there. We shall see. This probably will take a little while, but that is okay. Yeah, that is actually one of my favorite highlighters. I really do like it. It's quite similar to Mary Luminizer though. Next up is this Zoeva eyeshadow palette, and I got this in BoxyCharm, and I am trying to hit pan on this matte shade right here. And I've been using that to set my eyeshadow primer every single day, and actually I'm making a very big dip, if you can see that. It's a pretty powdery formula from what I'm experiencing using this color. So this, I could maybe even see hitting pan by the next update. I'm not sure though, because I've never hit pan on a Zoeva palette. I've seen other people do it and the pans don't seem overly deep, but we shall see. Again, so I've been using this to set my eyeshadow primer and then also as a matte brow bone highlight, which is something I like to do on an everyday basis. And yeah, I'm really glad that I'm getting use out of this palette. Yeah, I did get this in BoxyCharm and overall I'm enjoying it. All right, and this palette is probably gonna be in this project for 50 million years. I cannot hit pan on this thing. This is the So Jaded palette, and this is the one I'm wearing in this video. So again, I'll link the tutorial in the description box. I haven't hit pan on this yet. No surprise there. The 2 shades I've been working on is sometimes I use Rose Quartz, which is this matte neutral brown, and then sometimes I use my Precious. And I've been kind of alternating between them, but I haven't used this one as much because I was using the Zoeva color, because this I was using for same thing, brow bone highlight and setting eyeshadow primer. And yeah, I have the biggest dip in Rose Quartz, if you can see that. But I'm a ways away from hitting pan. I've mentioned before, I have hit pan on other ColourPop eyeshadows in this pressed powder formula, and it takes a very, very long time. This is probably gonna be in this project for infinity and beyond, but that's okay. I love it. It's one of my favorite palettes, so not a problem there. All right, and on to the one I did hit pan on. That is this, the BH Cosmetics Sylviagani palette. I think this is fantastic and I love the BH formula. And I was working on this shade here called S Club. It is a light warm matte brown. I use this as a crease color and I also used it on the lower lash line. And yes, there it is. I hit pan. Very, very exciting. This is a palette I really, really do like. I've had it for a year and a half though, and I just don't feel like I've gotten as much usage out of it as I would like because I have a lot of palettes. So this is something I want to play around with again coming up soon. I'm glad I have pan, but I really do want to use the other shades as well. And that is something I mentioned in another video. In other projects, for example, I'm doing a project 10 uses and project 100 uses where I'm just counting the usage on my palettes, not all of them, but the ones I consider kind of high-end or favorites. Because the thing is, if I use a palette 50 times and I hit pan on that one shade, but if I use it 50 times and just mix around all the shades and I don't hit pan, it's the same amount of usage and it's the same amount of product being used. So I don't want to focus too much on hitting pan. I just also want to, get usage out of my collection. If that makes sense, I still want to hit pan, but I'm not quite as overly focused on that as I have been in the past. All right, and for the item I am rolling in, I'm really excited for this. Metropolis palette. I love this palette. It is one of my favorites. I talk about it all the time on my channel. It's just that good. The quality is fantastic. And I went back and forth on whether I actually wanted to try to hit pan on it versus just, you know, use whatever color I want and just have fun with it. And for a while, that is what I did. This was in my project 100 uses. If you saw that video, I'll put that in the description box because I have now used this over 100 times, which is amazing. And obviously I want to use it more. It was very expensive. It's still to date the most expensive makeup product I have purchased at $129, but I feel ready to try to hit pan just because I feel like I've played around with the other colors a lot, having it in my project 100 uses. I'm not 100% sure which color though I want to focus on. This one here, which is this copper, that is the one I have the biggest dip on, and I love that shade. Honestly, I love every shade in this palette. So I think that's kind of the #1 contender, but the #2 contender is actually this green metallic right there. This is probably in like the top 2 to 3 favorite eyeshadows in this palette, maybe even my whole collection. It's so beautiful. Okay, let me just swatch it because it's stunning and I love it. Yeah, there it is right there. It's a greenish with a bit of gold. It's so pretty. I love this palette and I love the Natasha Denona formula. Now, it's going to take a while because I've seen people pan Natasha Denona shadows and it takes quite some time. I actually had the mini nude palette in a project pan last year and I used one of the matte shades every day for I think 3.5 months and I did not hit pan. So, you know, this may be in here forever like the ColourPop palette, but that's okay, I don't mind. So yeah, I think one of those 2 shades is what I'm gonna try to focus on. But yeah, I'm really excited. I have yet to hit pan on Natasha Denona shadows, and I do think I'd like to make that happen. Alrighty, that is it for this project pan update. I'm pretty excited that I do have one new pan, and I'm thrilled to start working on the Metropolis. If you are interested, I will link this makeup tutorial in the description box, and then also some of my other project pan videos and my playlist, and also the other people doing this project. That is it, and thank you so much for watching.